A Christian role-playing game? What is that? Ugh. Okay, what's a Christian role-playing game? A Christian role-playing game has two things in it that are way different than regular role-playing games. I have made a role-playing game that is exactly like everything else, but except for these two things: evangelism and church planting. That is what Christians do. Christianity in a role-playing game is not putting Christian stuff in it and then just role-playing and playing out heroics and doing good works. No, it's about evangelism. It's about converting them to be Christian or to go to church and civilize the culture. That is church history. That is medieval history. That is the struggle of fantasy, Christianity versus paganism. And we have taken out the Christianity part. Fantasy is the struggle between Christianity and paganism, and we have removed Christianity, and paganism is now part of all the games, and it takes credit for chivalry, which is a Christian invention. It takes credit for romance, which comes from chivalry. It takes credit for charity, which comes from Christianity, and that is what actually ruined the pagan temples back in the day. People said, wow, we like this charity thing. And the Christian role-playing games today, regular role-playing games today are acting like that and have sort of taken on that moniker. But the truth is the foundation of that you and I need to return to and promote it to the world. And if you're an RPG person, using a Christian RPG. Everything in the game you can do, like adventure, combat, confronting evil, witches, warlocks, sorcerers, all that. They have their black magic. Christians have our blessings, our prayers. And that's what this game has. So you do not play God. There's no Jesus. You don't play Jesus in it. There is a Jesus, but you don't play it in the game. The angels and demons are in there, but they're sort of side, periphery type things that can be implemented if you want as a GM and players. But it's boots on the ground. It's us. And it doesn't matter if we pray and use blessings and protections and healings for our characters and fail. Doesn't matter. God doesn't need us to succeed at anything. He can do whatever he wants. It's his will. But we want to do stuff for the Lord. We want to do stuff for Jesus. The Great Commission, in my sort of silly way of looking at it, is Jesus. When Jesus gave out the Great Commission, he said, well, if you're gonna do something, okay, I'll let you do this. That's just the way I think of it, in the sense of, God and Jesus are going to do what they want. So we as missionaries, whether we succeed or fail, doesn't matter. It's that we're doing something. So in the Christian RPG, you go out, you can die, total party kill. You can encounter dragons, which are dinosaurs, creation signs, where creation signs inherent. You can encounter prehistoric creatures. You got to go fight those. You got to go deal with villagers, and like the villagers are like, yes, we've been sacrificing to this dragon of the forest that we worship. I'm like, wait a minute, but he's eating our children now because there's 4 of them. Yeah. So, and the witch tells us we should now sacrifice to all 4 of them. So you need to. It's not just about saving the villagers. It's about saving them for real, and it's about getting them to realize, no, you cannot be worshiping creatures and sacrificing to them and then worshiping a witch and then doing what she tells you. And it's, what do you know? She's drugging the dragons to make them even tougher and bigger and stronger and scarier and more demonic. See, that's a Christian role-playing game. And that's actually what happened in history. Pagans, witches use their power of drugs and magic and, I'm going to curse you with my magic. But it's like, a puff of some... So it's that sort of thing, but also there is like a black, they kind of use black magic. You got to resist and take penalties if you against her black magic. And when you bless someone, it's the blessing is literally like, you can fight better, you can do it for the Lord. That's the blessing. And heal is persevere and continue on with the fight. And then we roll dice and give game mechanics for healing and blessings and giving bonuses and all that. So all that's in there. But again, I like it to be, at least specific for the Dark Ages too, setting, building the 6th century, building up the church, going out into the Germanic pagan forest, and doing all that. I like it to be kind of grounded in history, but really go push the legends, the myths, the fantastical a bit, push it, but also to get us intrigued about church history and to look at stuff in history because it's being forgotten. We are erasing it ourselves. This is. It's not deep legalism. It's not deep theology. So that we can have that debate later. So Catholics and Orthodox are definitely welcome, along with Protestants on Protestant reform. But you're all welcome, because it's really, the church history has to do a lot with that in medieval times, especially, is those three sort of branches of the Christian faith. Let's just call a ceasefire, an alliance, whatever. I don't care. This game can be used for all those different groups that want to do ministries, fellowship, getting people together to play a game, have fun. It's silly. It's tongue in cheek too. I always play the pagans kind of silly. What's wrong with sacrifice? What's wrong with giving up our children to slavery and all that? It's cool. I'll just have some other ones. It's that kind of paganism. What's wrong with taking drugs? It makes me stronger, man. It's that kind of stuff that I do, like silly paganism I do, that they got to confront and confront the villagers with, and then confront the bandits and the bad guys and the cultist warriors who all cosplay. In this game, I really push the cosplay, because that's what they did in the past. They freaking wore all this crazy stuff to look like, ogres and orcs, and there are giants, there are big people, we got an NBA or a football team, that you got to fight, and they're all evil, taking drugs and thinking they're, they go to Valhalla if they kill in battle. So that's pretty vicious, enemies to have. So you're going to have that. And the combat too is like, you don't have to just kill everything, because the GM has a mechanic where he gets to roll to see as they start to back off. And so you have an opportunity there to, fight them, but not necessarily kill them. And then once they're backing off, you can like, okay, let us talk, that kind of thing. So that's a cool mechanic. The evangelism mechanic is rolling to preach, rolling to convert, rolling to subdue the anger, rolling, deal with the mobs. There's that mechanic in the game, and then there's a mechanic for church planning in the game too. So if you plan a church, you get some glory points, and you get to build up your little area, and then start again and go move on to the next mission. So these mechanics are in the game, so that this is you really are working on your Christian faith. You really are curious. Hopefully, it'll open up you and your kids and the minds to church history. And again, I appreciate the works done by Catholics, Orthodox, and Protestants. So I'm gonna promote all of it. I'm not ashamed of any of it. We're not perfect. We're always making mistakes. Absolutely, we're Christians, but we can lie, we can deceive, but we know it's wrong. We always know it's wrong. Pagans, when they lie and deceive, nothing wrong with it. It's part of their mission or their thing. So the game, totally. Just like any other OSR, just like any other kind of role-playing game you guys love and enjoy. I'm a hardcore role-playing game person, but we got more. We got a lot more, okay? So that's my intro, or that's my little basic overview. It's a Christian RPG, Dark Ages. Apostles of the Epoch, Christians in space. Yes, they're all creation science and biblically adherent. Even the aliens in there, they're genetically modified humans and earth creatures that are on planets terraformed. So I absolutely stick with creation science and all that. Okay, hardcore Christian, crazy right-winger, conservative, hardcore-ish, MAGA thing. So that's who I am. So just so you know where I stand. But at the same time, I keep this game light. I keep it silly, and it's for you. It's for your kids. It's for a fellowship. It's for a family gathering. The women play women. There are men, and there are only two genders in this game. I'm sorry, I'm that primitive, and actually, the gender fluidity thing was way before even Christ. So anyway, men play men with battle axes. Women play women. Women are weaker creatures. They are the helpers of men, and but they have a lot of cool, fun game mechanics in it that they can use. And I've had two young women with their brothers playing, and both times with separate games, they said, "I'm going to stand back, brother. You go forward." And the brother goes, "Okay, I'm going to move forward and fight." Yes. And they have the women would have their crossbow, or they would do blessings or whatever, encouragements or whatever. But just to have them do that, and that's really how that's real life. Role playing in a sense, but it's really cool. I keep talking. So that's my intro to the For the Lord RPG in the game of life. Roll holy dice.